What's up YouTube, Demi here with a video going over the new Ignite announcement changes that just posted, I believe last night. There's been some pretty hefty, looks like potential changes for Ignite that they're trying to like improve it because it was basically unusable after the double dipping changes in 2.6 to 3.0 or so. They basically got rid of all of the Ignite damage and all of the poison double dipping. And so builds like this used to be what prolif looked like, right? This is old elementalist prolif. With a buttload of fire pen. I was more or less able to just like drop a flame blast on a pack, and if they weren't one-shotted by the pack, the ignite would kill the rest of them. Let's see if I can get to the boss here, because I actually one or two shot the boss with the prolif, right? Just from the ignite damage, and it just did so much melting, burning damage that like they had to nerf it into the ground, and so they kind of did. They just got rid of ignite damage. Because the way it used to scale was that any generic scaling like elemental damage, fire damage, area damage, all of those things would apply to the initial hit, and then they would also secondarily scale the degen of the second hit, which is a problem. Let me turn this to slow speed so you can see this. Like, I didn't even hit him there, he was just burning already, but let's wait for this boss to get hit. But yeah, so it was just really easy to scale, because, I mean, the way Ignite used to work as well was it was a percentage of the initial hit, so it was like, the initial hit was massive, so it would deal a huge amount of damage already, and then you would also get all of the same scaling on the second hit as well. So I believe this first one doesn't ignite. Yeah, I didn't get an ignite off on that hit, because I didn't have my Beacon of Ruin up or whatever, right? So he's still at like 90% HP. And then I'm going to get the second hit off here. The full stack flame blast, I believe, and then he just kind of melts. You see how he's just melting? I'm not hitting him right there. This is just an ignite damage. You can't currently do this. He just dies. Let's see if I can watch that at normal speed for you. It's just dead from one hit, right? And this is an item level 80 Gorge, which is what? T13 Gorge back in the day. No extra like monster health mods or anything like that, but that was just one tap and he just melts. That's what Ignite used to be able to do, and it used to be a lot worse than that. You could scale it a lot higher, so obviously they had to fix that. They just kind of got rid of it, but now they've reworked it so that's a little bit less bad. And 3.3 it looks like, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go over this with you. We've made some changes to the passive 3.3 in the long term. We have many more changes we'd like to make, but this would involve a much more significant rework. We've listed the changes we're making in the meantime below. Elementalist Beacon of Ruin passive now grants 20% more damage with ignites. Its prolif radius is now 18 up from 12, so that's 50% more AoE on the prolif. That's huge, and then 20% more damage, also huge. Heart of Flame now grants the same fire damage, but the damage penetrates 6% fire res, up from 3%. We pull up Path of Building so we can see exactly what they're talking about. I believe they're talking about the top of the tree nodes. The passive skills that lead up to Heart of Flame are now 50% increased fire damage up from 12, and the entry node is 12 from 10. The idea behind this is to make both hits and ignites more rewarding for your investment. So Heart of Flame is this thing right here. Yeah, so they're just beefing all of these nodes and giving this more fire pen, which is awesome. We also propagated this change into the Heart of Ice and Heart of Thunder skills for a general buff to spell damage. The passive skills up to Breath of Freya has been changed from... Okay, so they just made the nodes better. A lot of people don't even take these side because they're just not worth it, but it looks like they're buffing all of these as well, and these guys. Heart of Thunder, Breath of Lightning, Heart of Ice, Breath of Rime. That's pretty cool. Holy Fire notable has also changed in accordance with the above changes, so it can better be used for both ignite and hits. It's now increased fire and increased burning and chance to ignite. So that's over here. This is just generic burning damage currently. This is 100% burning damage for 3 points. It's ridiculously good for RF builds. It looks like they're changing it to be more generic. It's fire damage and burning damage scaling, so it can work for both types. I like that. Celestial Judgment notable has had its damage penetration increase from 2 to 5%. That's down here. So instead of 2% global pen, it's now 5% global pen. That's actually huge for pen builds and PvP in general. That's really good. Skill clusters on the tree now have 20-25% chance to ignite per cluster. Ideally this should mean that if you have leveled skill and support gems or a leveled skill and a few clusters taken, you should be able to acquire 100% chance to ignite. Okay. That's interesting. So they actually want us to have 100% chance to ignite. It used to be that you had to like crit to ignite or you had to be elementalist to get the 100% chance to ignite. You didn't ever invest into chance to ignite because it just wasn't worth it. But now it looks like we're just going to get it as a side effect of every other node we take, so we'll be able to achieve that all the time. I like that. I think I like that, because I mean if you're a fire damage character, it feels kind of weird to not be able to burn things sometimes, right? We might also move the meta away from just using elemental focus support on everything, which removes status ailments, because you would want to actually be able to do your ignite damage now. Gem changes. Ignite now deals 25% more damage per second. Okay. So they're making it burn faster and harder. I like this. We're making changes to Flame Blast, Fireball, Incinerate, and Burning Arrow so they can better utilize Ignite. Incinerate, interesting. Incinerate has been reworked entirely, so it's better at both hits and ignites. Good, because it's complete shit garbage right now. We'll be able to cover this rework more fully in upcoming posts from our skill revamp series. In the meantime, here's our plans for the other gems. Flame Blast gets more damage with ailments per stage. It now gains 5% chance to ignite per stage. Flame Blast now has 110% more damage with ailments per stage, up from 55%. So they've doubled the damage with ailments, and they've given it 5% chance to ignite per stage. So it gets up to 10 stages, right? So you have 50% chance to ignite at max stacks. And more damage. That's huge. I might actually be able to play this build again. I missed this character. It was really fun. Before it was CI, I mean, I'll probably have to go life-based now, but like, that's awesome. I missed that character. That was Elementalist Flame Blast. It was huge damage and AoE and pen and everything. Now it's going to be hopefully back to that stage and level of power, which would be cool. Fireball and Burning Arrow both gain more ignite damage as they level and more chance to ignite as they level. At level 20, Fireball has 39% chance to ignite and 88% more damage with ignite. Okay, and now there's 20% more damage at level 20. It's gained +1 radius at level 20. At gem level 20, Burning Arrow has 49% chance to ignite and 68% more damage. Okay, that's actually a pretty huge Fireball buff. They gave it 20% more damage, base damage I would assume, compared to what it currently has. That's a pretty significant amount of damage gained on a skill. It might bring it up to level with how much damage Frostbolt does, for example. And they gave it extra AoE, which is huge. Burning Arrow I have seen a couple times with meme builds, like chance to ignite Burning Arrow builds. Or in PvP I've seen Burning Arrow mines used quite successfully because it has a huge multiplier on it. Ideally, these changes should create a better leveling experience with Fireball and Burning Arrow. Cool. Chance to Ignite support gem has renamed to Combustion support. Combustion, sorry. Enemies ignited by supported skills lose up to 19% fire res. Interesting. At gem level 20, it has 29% more fire damage, 49% chance to ignite, and negative 19% fire res on ignited enemies. So I've noticed a trend lately. They're moving away from like not having pen on any skill or minus res on any skill. They're giving a lot of skills pen, like the old Blast Rain rework. The last Blast Rain rework that they posted was 25% fire pen, right? This is giving enemies negative 19% fire res, which is not the same as pen, but I mean, that's still really cool to see. They're also giving more pen up here to Celestial Judgment and the skills itself. So, like, that's really, really good, because like the way it currently works, curses get negative 80% effect on bosses, like Shaper and Uber Elder and whatnot and Guardians. They don't get curses really. So the only way to get through their resistances is stuff like this. Equilibrium is a huge one, which we talk about later. And then just getting penetration on your skills so you can kind of ignore their res or over-penetrate to deal more damage. So this will hopefully give a lot of players more ways to scale their damage against bosses. Because it's like, yeah, you can do your normal damage against enemies, against normal mobs, but when you actually fight a boss, they have like 40% res plus 80% curse resistance, and your damage just falls off real bad. In combination with them having like 5 to 15 million HP, you know, it gets pretty hard to kill them. So they're kind of making it a little bit easier to scale your damage against bosses, which I like. Daily Ailment Support Gem now provides a larger damage boost to ailments and a smaller penalty to hits. At level 20, it grants 64% more damage and 10% less damage. Okay. That should make it more usable. It's currently only used by very few assassin poison builds usually, or very few poison builds in general. Ignite Prolif now provides a more substantial boost to ignite damage. The radius is now 20 at gem level 20. This has been increased with its old value of 16 at 20. It also deals 39% more damage with ignite. Okay. I didn't actually remember Ignite Prolif being a gem until just now, because that's how bad it is. But if they allow us to scale ignite damage, this plus combustion would be a huge amount of more fire damage and chance to ignite and all those other things. Ellie Prolif has also had its radius increase. It's level 12 at level 1, up to 15 at 20. Okay. There's a huge amount of AoE and damage buffs here, burning damage, ignite damage buffs, and some pen. I like this. Other notes, we'd like to update the way Ellie Equilibrium works in the future. At the moment, it provides significant bonus that goes against its intended use. Most notably, it currently has a non-penalized 50% reduction of resistances on enemies. Yeah, including bosses. It's not a curse, right? So if you have a boss with 40% res and you hit him with this, they get negative 50 and you're dealing way more damage than you should be with a single keystone. No investment required, yep. We don't want it to be necessary for Ignite builds, but the way that it works now, it feels like that's the case. 100%. This character was using Orb of Storms with lightning damage to apply negative 50 fire res with Ellie Equilibrium, and then Flammability and Elemental Weakness to give them like negative 100% plus fire res for my main Flame Blast hit, which is required back then to get a huge amount of scaling, and it's still required currently. Changing this involves a much more significant rebalance of various skills, which is likely to happen later. Okay, that's fine. We also look at the way curses work. Ultimately, we want to rebalance them entirely with a particular focus on their effectiveness against bosses, making them stronger against bosses while minimalizing the difference in their effectiveness against boss and non-boss enemies. I just talked about that. Okay, that's really cool. This is part of a much larger rework and not possible to do immediately, but it's something that's on our radar. Alright, good. Because it's like, a lot of people even make curse bots and they do nothing in boss situations because the curse bots are like getting negative 80% effect and it's just really bad. But yeah, that's cool to hear. Our testing of these balance changes so far has gone well. There are several Ignite focus builds that are now more enjoyable to level and more effective in endgame content. We're going to continue to test these changes internally and solicit feedback during alpha testing, which means some of these values mentioned in our posts might be subject to change, okay? However, this should give you an overview of where we are at currently with Ignite and our plans for the future. I love these type of posts. Like, I wish there were more of these. They've been getting better at communicating more openly about potential changes to stuff like this. I mean, it does cause a lot of hype in the community. It also causes a lot of panic in the community that their builds are going to get nerfed or their builds are going to be like OP or whatever, or that the game's going into the power creep mode or whatever. I don't really think that worrying about power creep in this game makes sense as much as other games. Like, we're not a PvP game, right? I talk about PvP because I'm one of the very few players that actually PvPs a lot, but like, when you look at items such as this is the current power creep, quote unquote, of the game, right? Gain X as X damage. These are just more damage multipliers, and you can get these on your amulet, on your weapons, on your jewels. Even with abyssal jewels, you can get fire damage gained as extra damage of fizz. Like, there's just a ton of stuff like this, and none of this has to do with ignite damage. This is just straight up upfront damage, right? The meta used to be stack poison, chance to poison, and your build was basically, how do I get 100% chance to poison without using the poison support gem? And then double dip the hell out of chaos damage until it kills everything in the game, right? And then ignite builds were the same. How do I get 100% chance to ignite without using chance to ignite stuff? And then double dip the hell out of that damage. They nerfed the fuck out of that and gave us things like this. So instead of it being a double dip meta, it is now a gain physical as X or gain Ellie as X meta. And it's just the same level of power, if not worse. I mean, I think the builds now with this sort of item are doing a ton more damage than the old ignite and poison builds were. So I feel like, because we're not a PvP game, because this is a PvAI game, and everybody's like, we're just here to kill monsters and get loot, right? Does it really matter if the entire player base is able to kill monsters easily? I don't personally think that matters. Like, that's the whole point of this game, is to kill stuff in the fastest way that you can, to get the most loot that you can, to then turn that loot into currency to upgrade your character further, etc., so on and so forth. You feed into this cycle. And the builds that I play, I've been playing for years, and dumping currency into for years, and they just end up being ridiculously strong compared to your average budget league starter, because they've been min-maxed that hard. And I think that's okay, that's like the whole point, right? And I think changes like this are encouraging players to figure out how to min-max builds even further, and giving everybody in the game more chance to like kill the endgame content. But if you're using a quote-unquote broken build to one-shot an endgame boss, like instant kill with like a 5C budget, yeah, that's probably a problem. But if you invest a fair amount into ignite and fire damage, burning damage stuff, and you're able to get like, say like a 3 or 4 second burn on something that almost kills a boss with perfect storm situations, like, I feel like that's fine. You built for that to happen, and you're being rewarded by being able to actually do it. And I'd like to see more of that. Like, I mean, the Molten Strike poison builds right now that are able to stack like 200 plus poisons a second, I like that. I like the fact that they're able to make poison work even though it was nerfed into the ground and just recently brought back up to par. So I think this is good. But if you guys have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments below. We're not going to go to my live reaction to the new microtransaction store, so enjoy that. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me talk about this sort of stuff live or ask me questions about it, whatever. I'll see you guys over on Twitch. I hope you enjoyed this next part of the video as well, and I'll see you in the next one. That'll be Demi out. Let's look at the first reveal of the new microtransaction stash. Can you search things? Jesus Christ. Ah, what happened? Okay. How is this sorted? This is new. These are sales, stash tabs. I like how they move stash tabs up to the front. They're like, yeah, people just want to buy tabs, fuck everything else. Bundles. I thought they said there was going to be a search thing. Homepage. What are these for? I don't understand why these are empty. Okay, so you can actually see the whole set without scrolling as far. That's nice. I mean, you still have to scroll a fuckload. I mean, look at all these armor sets. This is ridiculous. That's kind of cool. Winter is coming. I mean, it's a lot better than it was before, because I mean, that was terrible. This is cool. This is actually like a very unique weapon effect that I don't think they've done anything similar to yet, so that's awesome. Celestial, what the fuck? I really wish they had HD like pictures for this. Oh, it's at the bottom. I didn't even see that. Thank you. This looks like it's just so pixelated. Like they couldn't get a higher definition picture for these. That one's not as bad. That one looks like it's in focus here, out of focus there, right? This one just looks like shit in general. Like they need to get better resolution pictures. So if I search for ice, okay, you still, can you do all? No, you can't do all, I don't think. You have to do like each type of thing. Okay, what if I want to look for pet? Is it not pet? That's too specific. Turtle. There's no turtle pet? I'm pretty sure there was a turtle pet. Is it a tortoise? Yeah, it's a tortoise. Never mind. That one's cool. Can I get more spiders? Nope, not the cool one. I don't know. Overall, I'd say this is obviously incredibly needed. I wish there was just an all button here. So I could just search literally everything at once. That'd be a lot easier. But overall, this is definitely an improvement, and I'm glad they did this, because holy shit. Yeah, sorting by price would be nice as well. Like lowest to highest price. This thing's cool. I don't know why they're holding it that way, instead of, you know, the blade out, but whatever. Yeah, it's definitely nice that it shows what you already have as well. That's kind of cool. This thing's awesome. Have you seen the Ghost Flame set? Yeah. You don't need to donate for points, dude. What? I don't usually buy that much MTX, other than like supporter packs occasionally. Like, I don't even have the classic banana throws. Like, there's a lot of things I'm missing because I haven't replayed the builds. Extra gore costs $14. Not only can you lag more, you can lag everyone else at the same time for the low price of $14. A lot of these prices are just like, holy shit, why? Everything in the store is like $5 to $20 for one MTX. I don't like this. This looks like ass. Again, look how pixelated this is. Like, maybe they should, if they made these all GIFs, it'd be better, right? If they made these all like animated GIFs, it would be a lot better than just a static image, I think. I mean, they do have the videos, but like, it opens it in a separate browser. If you could play that in game as well, that'd be a lot better too.
Why did someone say give to me money?
Stop it. Thank you for the yeets. Don't have to do that. fuck? They added a new supporter pack? Is it a bundle? Or is it on the website? Oh, that's another thing. You can't buy supporter packs on here, can you? You have to do it through the website still? That's weird. They should have a supporter pack thing in here so you could buy them. I guess you don't buy the points. You don't buy those with points, do you? You buy them with straight up money. So never mind. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that should be in game. Still. Click buy points to buy supporter packs. Does it take you to the... Yeah, it takes you to the website. I don't want to go to the website though. Oh, you're talking about the first blood pack, yeah. Yeah, that one's different. You can buy supporter packs in game if you're on Steam. Ah. But Steam is garbage. This is like so edgy. It's like oh god, what's that guy's name? From Soul Calibur, who's covered in spikes and stuff and like humps the air. Do you know what I'm talking about? Voldo? Is it Voldo? It looks like that. Everything he had was just spikes. Yeah. Yeah, that's just... I think it's Voldo. No, I don't know. It's an old game. I don't know why I just thought of that. Soul Calibur 3 on the GameCube? I don't know. I played a lot of that game. Yeah, I already clicked buy points. It just opens a website. It's not what I want. Overall, I would rate this redo 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5 out of 10. When they add an all tab and the ability to buy supporter packs here, that'd be cool. But I'm really glad there's a search function because like we have so many fucking MTXs. Look at how much they care about guilds. Look how much stuff is in every other tab, right? Every other tab has a ton of stuff in it. And then you look at guild and they're like, here, you can buy a tab. Like, if they wanted to make more money off guilds, if they actually cared about guilds, you could move all of these tabs. If you can implement each one of these into the guild stash, like a currency tab for the guild, that'd be fucking beautiful. But they have not done that yet, so I don't know. Guilds are kind of screwed at the moment. But that's a whole nother video. I'm okay with this. I like this. It needs to be, whatever this is, needs to be improved. But other than that, it looks good to me.